We've seen many people about someone who is a raging drunk but seems sober enough to kick a bunch of ass and save the day for whatever catastrophe is occurring. Fight or Flight stars Josh Hartnett in that kind of role, a mercenary who is asked by Katee Sackoff to apprehend an elusive target named the Ghost that's on an airplane and bring her back alive to the United States. The hook for this one is that the plane is filled with a massive collection of assassins. Our hero must find this target and ensure that both of them get off of this airplane alive. I am super happy that Josh Hartnett is getting a career resurgence. He was the only good thing in last year's Trap by M. Night Shyamalan, and he is more than up to the task in this picture. I love the work he's been doing lately. I am getting many vibes from some old 90s dumb action films like Passenger 57, The Last Boy Scout, and a few others. Everything surrounding the agency with Katee Sackoff is completely boilerplate, stupid, and has all the cloak and dagger stuff we've come to expect from these type of stories. There's supposed to be moments of double-crossing and some kind of forced relationship between Katee Sackoff and Josh Hartnett, but it is paid such small lip service to that it doesn't change anything in the story. I also think there are many starts and stops with the villains here. There isn't a clear-cut bad guy for our hero to overcome, just a bunch of assassins he must fight. The film teases a girl with these weird eyes who has some kind of weird trancing thing going on, but it is brushed away in, quite frankly, one of the funniest scenes of the picture. I also think that the character of the Ghost ended up being kind of underwhelming with what they contribute to the story, and the pathos behind their relationship is your typical misunderstood eco-terrorist stuff. But I have to say that I had a ton of fun with this movie for two primary reasons. One, the commitment of Josh Hartnett as this drunk badass who is having fun with what he is doing. There's a sequence involving a chainsaw that put a huge smile across my face. I also must compliment the fight scenes. They are staged extremely well, especially considering that many of them are in very tight spaces of an airplane. The first major fight in the airplane takes place in a bathroom, and it works because of the proper camera placement, as well as the humor Hartnett's character is displaying during it, because he drank a drugged drink just beforehand, making it the perfect mesh of hilarious and violent. That's why this picture works for me on the whole. It has brutal fight scenes with amazing choreography, but it never stops having a fun sense of humor while it is doing it. About 10 minutes into the movie, when I saw that it was daytime at the agency, but it was also daytime in Bangkok where the adventure starts, which is 13 hours ahead, by the way, then all of a sudden it becomes night in the span of 5 minutes after a bartender greets our main character with "good afternoon." I knew I couldn't take this movie seriously after that because it is going for a ridiculous romp, and that's precisely what the film is. It doesn't even know the concept of time, so I just sat back and watched a bunch of cool fight scenes. The comic relief is done by a couple of the flight attendants, and their comedy is pretty well done, and adds some levity to something that is already reaching peak ridiculousness. There's a patch about midway through the picture where they are trying to explain the backstory of our main character and the stakes of everything that's on the line, and none of that really worked for me, nor mattered to the overall arc of the movie itself. At least this time around it didn't. The film sets itself up for a sequel with some sort of bullshit ending, but I hope the sequel gets made because I would like to see this guy kick a bunch more ass in other installments like this. Fight or Flight succeeds where Flight Risk from earlier this year failed, with a likable protagonist, great fight scenes, and a lighthearted tone. There's a sequence in the film involving hallucinogens that made me so freaking happy. It is the ultimate personification of ridiculous, but I loved that sequence so much. There's a few characters that get introduced as pseudo-allies, and I asked myself when they showed up, where were you during the first 45 minutes of this plight? Because you could have helped subdue so many problems. But as I said, this is a movie where you need to turn your brain off and just remember it has a fight with a chainsaw on an airplane. I don't know how that got into an airplane in a post 9/11 world, but I just rolled with it and had a fun time, and I believe you will too. So I obviously recommend this movie as a dumb action flick to enjoy on a Friday night. Watch this with a group of people too, because this is one of those films where you will laugh with your friends while you're watching it. This is right up there with the film Novocaine in regards to dumb action films from this year, so if you liked that one, then check out this one as well. I give Fight or Flight 3 stars out of 4. The political stuff is boring, trite, and silly, but the action on the plane and good pacing make it a fun romp to enjoy. Okay, so Fight or Flight, what are your thoughts on it? Please let me know. I want dumb action movies like this to succeed so we can keep getting them. Anyway, if you like this, please like and subscribe. Here's links to some of my other videos. Follow me on social media if you like. And until next time, I am Ghost.